Your alternative sports program, Sports Forum, and be informed. Attention foodies! KFC is bringing you flavor like never before with the brand new crispy seasoned fries. They're golden brown and crispy on the outside, light and fluffy on the inside, and seasoned with a secret blend of KFC's secret herbs and spices. Packed with scrumptious flavors, these crispy seasoned fries elevate KFC's French fry game to another level.
Oh yeah, they're crispy, they're seasoned, they're tasty, and they're calling your name. They're now available as a side item or with every meal.
But wait, there's more. Get your crispy seasoned fries and the ultimate value promo meal special for just $15. That's right, for only $15 you get one regular crispy seasoned fries, 6 hot and spicy nuggets, 6 hot wings, and 1 refreshing regular Pepsi. It's the perfect combo of crispy, spicy, tasty, and also finger-licking good.
The fries are here to stay, but the promo meal special is available for a limited time only. Swing by KFC's Bush Road or Cold Bay locations and treat yourself. Or let KFC deliver right to your door. Order online for pickup or delivery at www.kfc-sxm.com.
Don't miss out. Grab your finger-licking meal today. It's finger-licking good.
All right, keep going.
The stories from local and international news, weather, and sports.
Pleasant good morning. Welcome to Sports Forum for today, March 1st in the year 2025. We're into March, and some people say that March is the best month. I don't have an opinion on it, but we're into the program and we're into March, so to Curacao and Aruba, they're in the heart of Carnival right now. The northern side over there, Carnival is heating up. Guadeloupe, of course, all around us is Carnival. So this is the time, but Sports Forum is on. We're here this morning to talk about sports. Shout out to all the neighboring islands, Anguilla, Guadeloupe, my boy Super D, and Nomad up there in Guadeloupe this time, up there enjoying a bit of the Carnival. Thanks for tuning in always. And as usual, every Saturday morning we start off with a report on the cycling. Boy, we got in a good bit of cycling this morning. The rain was a little rough, but we got in some cycling together with my boy Joseph, the Hallman Cream. We got in some good kilometers this morning, so we're set for the weekend. So without further ado, let's get into the program. We have a full studio with us this morning. We're talking football. And back in the studios with us, we have representatives from the Sxm Football Federation. We know that the under-7 team participated in the CONCACAF World Cup qualifier in Costa Rica. So we got some players from the under-17 team, plus the assistant coach, and of course the president with us in the studio. So without further ado, let's start off, of course, with the president, Mr. Singh. No stranger to the program, been here so often. Welcome back to the program, Mr. Singh. How are you doing?
Okay, good morning, Mr. Aventuring. Pleasant morning to all the listeners. I think it's on the island and now it's international. It's great being back here, after, I promise you whenever we have any update, I'll pass by. So I'm here again.
All right. So the competition is off to a blistering start. You guys have a packed program every Saturday, every week, all the weekends. I think you guys need no additional playing space.
Yes, there's always a challenge in St. Martin playing space. I think our competition is going very well. We're playing every Friday night. Saturday is the whole day, entire day. We start at 8 in the morning, we finish around 11 at night. And then Sunday again, we start around 4, we finish around 9.
Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, you told me there was some changes in the daily management of the organization, some shifts.
Yes, what happened is as you continue to evolve as a football federation, we have to look at ways to also evolve, not only on the field as players develop, but also in the office. And we're looking for a technical director for the longest while. And we know we're looking around, and I prefer to have somebody who's from the island. Because you sometimes will bring in a technical director, even one from Holland, you'll pay him a big salary. And besides that, he don't know the culture of the island, he don't know the players, the empathy with the players on the field and everything surrounding football is not there, all the culture. So we keep looking, and then we had to make a decision. Because as you see, CONCACAF is the organizing more competition. Every year now you have the under-17 World Champion qualifiers. The under-15 is still ongoing. Nation League is coming up, and it's a bit challenging for the General Secretary sometimes to do everything. So what we have done, we make a shift. We know Gene Campbell, his passion is football all the way. We mostly see him on the field also organizing the competition, helping coaches where needed. However, the board had stopped him. He's not allowed to coach, but that's his passion.
Okay.
So we sat with him and we asked him, what you thought about being a technical director. And he agreed, said, this is a challenge he would like to take up. So we give him that challenge, and what we done to get a new general secretary on the island. We have a lot of kids or people on the island with experience in our who came back from study and also experience in management of our association. The secretarial job is interesting, so we hire a new one. Another young guy is a gentleman with a lot of experience. He was one of the manager at the Whip Band. So he came over and he's there to assist us. He also imparted football for the longest while. I think back in the days, with the Rubu days, he was there as a board member of Telstar. It's Mr. Vincent Boishis.
Okay. Now, what is the role actually of a technical director? Just so the general public understand, what's the real role in the daily task of a technical director?
Before everything fell under the general secretary, Gene used to help organize the competition, assist with scheduling of the coaches, the national program, the national youth program, which we stopped also because of the same situation. So he's overall in charge of the operation, but not the administrative part on the field.
Okay.
With coaching, all the technical aspects of the game.
Okay, so that's what he's handling now.
Yes.
All right, so let's go over. We have some more guests with us in the studios. Of course, we're going to go over to the assistant coach of the under-17 team that just recently participated in the CONCACAF qualifier, Mr. Dylan Telemak. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Great to have you.
Good morning, radio listeners and whoever tuning in
online. Okay, so Mr. Telemak, tell us a bit about yourself. How did you get into football? You started. Let's start with how did you get into football?
How I got in? Well, I started at 4 years old, to be honest, and I basically loved the sport ever since then. So I never stopped. So I played, and then I slowly developed into a coach.
So what teams you played with from the time you came up? What teams have you?
I initially started with Hotspurs, pretty much my whole life, and then also the national team of St. Martin. And then recently I moved forward to Walichi FC.
Okay, so as a player, what position you play on the field?
In my younger days, I played mostly attacking. I was a top goal scorer back then. And then I slowly, as the age
moved back to the
on,
midfield.
I moved back and back until I became a defender.
Oh boy! So why is that though? Why people always start off as attackers and eventually then end up as defending? Was it you start to lose speed or?
No, speed never left. My situation was, it had a game where one of the players didn't came, so I just volunteered to play defense, and I performed too well, I think. So that's how I ended up there.
Oh, we know, of course, the main difference between attacking and defending is the capability to score. But explain us still what the conversion or the transition from going from an attacker to someone now who have to focus on defending attackers. That's not a big transition to go through.
Well, ideally, the modern sport nowadays, everybody could score goals. It's just your priority is more defending per se, so your positioning on the field. But in my role, I was also tasked to actually go and assist the attackers. So I didn't really have much transition other than running a lot more.
Running a lot more. Okay.
I had to run from back to front, front to back.
I figured that because the attacker, he got a luxury of just waiting for the ball to come to him. Because when you switch over in attacking mode. So you're the assistant coach from the under-17 team that recently participated in the CONCACAF World Cup qualifier. Tell us a bit how you guys prepared this team for this CONCACAF qualifier.
Well, we pretty much brought a group of guys together and monitor them and develop them October, November, roughly. So we had a few months to just prepare them mentally, physically, try to instill an idea into their minds before we go abroad. We had a couple of friendly matches as well with some local teams and our neighboring islands. So that was pretty much the preparation.
Okay, you brought along some players with you, so let's go over. Let's give them a chance on the microphone here. The first player, Caden McGlure.
Hi, good morning.
Caden, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. It's nice
Well,
to meet you.
gotta talk a little bit closer to the microphone. I think we got untangle it a little bit. So take the one with the longest string there. Yeah, good.
Good.
All right. So Caden, tell us a bit. Who's Caden McClure? When did you start off playing soccer?
I've also started from young. I don't know when exactly. Maybe 4 or 5 years old.
So what made you interested in soccer?
I didn't really have a choice. I had to start a sport. My parents, they were always, especially my mother, she used to do a lot of stuff with sports, swimming, triathlons, all of that. So I had to do sports. And
so how did the choice fall on soccer?
once she put me in soccer, I guess I started getting used to it, and I started enjoying it more and more.
So what position you play? What's your position?
I play mainly on the left side. It could be left defense or left attack. Mostly left defense. That was where I played for the World Cup qualifier.
And then on your regular team, which team you play for in a
Quality FC.
Quality FC? And you also play that position at Quality FC, or you had to make a transition on the national team to a new?
I would say I play like on Quality FC. I would play the whole line. So instead
So
of
the whole line midfield,
instead of a left attacker and a left defender, I would be both. So so the whole line.
So you like that position?
Yeah, it's fun for me. I have enough stamina to keep that up. Maybe when I go older, it can go down, then I have to stay in left defense. But for me, I have enough stamina for it.
So which player, maybe locally, internationally, you try to model your game after, or you don't do that, period?
I do, but if I play in defense, I more want to be a player known as Virgil van Dijk.
Okay, Van Dijk, yeah. He played in England somewhere.
In England, yeah.
And on the Dutch national team.
Yes.
Okay, that's a. I think he's a captain of the Dutch national team as well. Okay.
And the England squad, the England local squad.
So you model your game after him.
Yeah.
And your strongest. Which foot is your strongest foot? You play on the left side, so.
I'm left-footed.
All right. Also, we got in the studio with us another youngster from the under-17, Mr. Sudesh Singh. Pull the microphone a little closer to you. Mr. Singh, good morning. Same question for you. How did you start off in the Singh name is a famous name. I first thought you was a cricket player. But how did you start off in soccer?
So I started very young, like from 4 years old, playing football with my father, obviously. Yeah. Then I started to play with Swaliga at first, because they was like the only sports team with a youth team back then. And yeah, I just kept on playing.
Which position you started off playing?
Everywhere.
Everywhere?
Yeah, everywhere.
You could play that on the field? 11 players? You could play that?
Sometimes.
So where would they put you most often when you played it?
But when I was younger, they put me more midfield, attacking midfielder.
Okay.
Because I had a good control, good pass, so they just put me there to distribute the ball from left to right.
Okay. And now later on, at this point, we station now. Where's your
goalkeeper?
Goalkeeper. Okay. Yes. So how did you go from midfield to goalkeeping?
So basically, like, everybody wants to be an attacker, a midfielder. So I was like, let me try the goal. Nobody is going to goal. Let me try going to goal. And yeah, I love it. Because for me, at first it was like a hard challenge because struggling. I didn't really have the right technique, how to dive. So just kept on training. And my father also was a goalkeeper. So his experience to me and they start to develop, and I would say I'm one of the best youth goalkeepers on the island right now.
Okay, that's good to know. But a lot of people don't like the goal, but a goalkeeper is actually a very important player on the team. So, but now let me ask you this: when the game is on, and of course you have to stay focused. Is it difficult to stay focused on the game? You all the way down there by yourself, maybe in the team up attacking. How do you keep yourself in the game focused and concentrated?
Sometimes, like, when the team attacking, I normally have 1 or 2 center backs there waiting, so I speak to them, interact, coach the team a little bit.
Try to
from
get
the
in
back.
them, okay.
Yeah, and the striker there, crack a little joke with him. Getting a little frustrated. But yeah, and I have a very loud voice on the pitch, so everybody could hear me.
Because you, as a goalkeeper, you have to keep your defenders where you want them when the ball coming. You have to line them up. So you actually, as a goalkeeper, you're supposed to be the orchestra, the conductor on the team, right?
Yeah.
Telling them where to go. Now, what was the most difficult ball for a goalkeeper to handle?
In the league right now, they have like a power shot, but a ball nobody could really master yet is a knuckle ball. This is when the ball don't spin, it just move. And my friend could do it, but he on my team, thank God. So it don't really affect me.
So how a knuckle ball? How you kick a knuckle ball?
I don't even know who he was doing.
Anybody? Let's ask the coach then. Mr. How do you kick a knuckle ball? I mean, what is it?
Well, I think it's a technique of where your placement is and where you connect on the ball and the power in your shot, pretty much.
So the knuckle ball makes the ball move away, curve away from you much faster than
the ball don't spin at all. Like, it'll just move in the air. It'll just travel.
So, Mr. Telemark, you guys participated in Costa Rica.
Yes.
Preparation is always one thing, but how was the experience for you? Is it the first time for you coaching at such a big tournament?
Well, actually, no, it's my second time. The last time was the U15, well, U14 in Trinidad. The experience, wonderful. I mean, you get to see a whole lot of different levels of football in those countries, and it was beautiful for me, learning experience, but a very beautiful experience for me.
Now, I mentioned the preparation and going to the tournament. What's one of the most important things that you gain as an experience that you would say that, hey, listen, for the next time we definitely got to focus on this, going into a tournament like that?
For me, I think is how we tactically prepare the kids, in a sense. I think we would have to dial a lot more.
When you say tactically prepare the kids, what should we understand with that?
Pretty much their positions on the field, where exactly they should be, where the ball is, and stuff like that. So their shape as a team, positions, their basic tasks as players. We really need to dial them a lot more in that moving forward.
Dial them in.
Yeah,
how would you accomplish that? Getting them dialed in more?
Repetition. Keep preaching to them, coaching them, motivating them, and instilling those ideas in their head from the beginning.
Now, I think a lot of people on St. Martin maybe misjudge the level of play that goes on in these tournaments. Were you guys surprised by the level of play from some of the other teams, or how would you rate that?
I don't think we were surprised.
I say that because I heard that, and I don't know, you guys could confirm it or not, I heard that some teams brought in a lot of foreign players and stuff like that to reinforce their teams. Is that accurate?
Well, we could agree to that, yeah. I mean, but they are from the country, so they are allowed to do that. So we just have to deal with it as it comes.
Okay. Now let's go over to Caden. Caden, is this your first time that you played on the national team?
No, I played on the national team since I was young. Only small tournaments though, so
this was the biggest one.
Yeah, this was the top one. I played in U15 once, to Santo Domingo, U14 once to Santo Domingo again. But those were way smaller compared to this tournament. I've also been to the neighboring islands in Mats for small tournaments they held on the weekend. And I think that was about it for the national team, but I played there from since young.
Okay. Now, playing in this tournament, what was your best experience, the best experience that you had that you would say that, listen, I carried away this, I'm not going to ever forget this again?
I feel like the game against Costa Rica, it was a fun game, honestly. Even though, you know, it was hard for us to handle, I feel like the crowd and whatnot, all those singing, chants and whatnot, it was fun.
So it really had an effect having so much people in the stands.
Yeah, it's fun to play against teams like that. I feel like we could have do way better, but.
So what made the games hard for you guys? You said that it was a hard game. What made the game hard for you?
Honestly, we was just not in the right mindset, to be honest, because once they get the ball and they just start playing, I feel like we just lose everything we had from since we start the game, and so we just get demotivated.
But you practice that, right?
Yeah, we practice a lot. But as we said, well, as Coach Dylan said, the level of football, to compare it with these guys, especially with the crowd and whatnot, is hard, really hard.
It was hard for you guys coming from a small island with a small competition with limited amount of games and stuff like that playing against. So let me go over to Sudesh. Sudesh, same question for you. What was the best experience you had in this tournament? And you know, something that you say like, hey, listen, that stood out for me and that was really fantastic.
Well, my best moments from the tournament was when I played the first match, because I was sick for the first two, so I played the third match against Guyana. And I heard from a lot of coaches that I performed very well, and I didn't really believe that because the score, we still lost, but I went and watched back the game and I was like, I really showed St. Martin like we still have a fighting spirit no matter the score.
When you watch back the game, tell me some of the things that you recognize that, you know, what the coaches were talking about. So what did you recognize as, because the coach tell you played a good game, so what were some of the things that you saw that you...
I made a lot of saves, a lot. It was in the double digits for sure. And the commentator also was saying, if I wasn't there, if we didn't have a goalkeeper, it would be a lot, because they had a lot of chances, but we hold them down. Only 3 went in, unfortunate, but a lot of people said I played a good game.
Okay, so you had a double-digit saves, which is really fantastic. You kept your team in kind of in the game. And the only thing was missing that your attackers had to to put in a goal or two for you to take the pressure off of you a bit. All right, let me go back over to Mr. Singh, the president. Now, of course, I know the federation evaluates, their participation in these tournaments, and how was the evaluation coming back for the federation itself?
Well, the preparation part, I think the coaches mentioned that we had a short preparation from November, and during that time, November to from August to the tournament in February, but also we had the closure of Raul Village, November and December. And that played a crucial role also with the preparation of our players. As you said, it's a development tournament for us. It's the first time St. Martin will took part in on the 17 World Cup qualifiers. We know it's a World Cup qualifiers, and the other countries are playing for a spot in the World Cup. St. Martin, we're not a FIFA member, so we cannot play for that. So we went for the experience.
Okay.
So from the beginning onset, we told the parents them also, bear in mind, it's a World Cup qualifiers, these teams are coming with players. If you look at the team for Trinidad, the keeper, Inter Miami, those are the big clubs the players that are coming from. We had a club, we had a player, all of a player from the island. Probably one guy came from Holland with Tim. He used to live born here, but he came out to play with us at that age group. We had a very young team, so the preparation was there.
What was the average age of the team? Because I think the other teams, I think I saw online, the other teams was all of them were up in the ages, the 17.
16, 17. Our team, I think, Sudesh was one of the youngest one. He's 14, making 15.
Wow.
Yes, next month he's making 15, and the rest of the boys them around 15. So,
do we have a large number of players in the 17-year-old category?
We have a lot of players, but these tournaments, nationality counts. St. Martin nationality. That's why sometime I heard when the day came back, misinformation on the radio that St. Martin went and lose all the games. I say yes, but 8 other teams didn't have a point also, and those are FIFA members. That's one, and a team who are well prepared, have more stage facilities, and have more better time and funding to prepare their team, which we don't have. We have a batch of players here that we have, let's say 30-40 players between the age of 16. From that, probably only 20 has the Dutch nationality. And our focus is our national team should have the St. Martin nationality. We're not like any other sports out there that you pick a national team. Come from anywhere, you represent St. Martin. We find you should know the national anthem, you should know the flag, you should know the culture of St. Martin. So when you go out there and speak, people learn from you also.
Would players with because I think someone mentioned that, I heard it. Would players with for example, a permanent residency qualify still to play on the team? It has to be passport.
Dutch passport.
No exception.
St. Martin passport. At the level of 17 and up is passport. 15, they're giving us 4 players, residents. We have to have proof that they're residents of the island, they go to school to the island, and then we can choose 4 players, non-nationals. That's an exemption for us. But above 17, we are World Cup qualifiers, all nationals. So that's the challenge we're having. As I said, St. Martin is a beautiful island. We have a lot of kids there, born on the island. If you ask the kids where they're from, I'm from here. But on documentation, they're not from here because they carry the parents' nationality.
Correct.
And that's sometimes what we are trying to avoid. That's sometimes the challenge we have in. Because when you speak to players before the training, we from St. Martin, you know the guy all your life here on St. Martin. And when you come to train and etc. And when you come to, bring your passport, you see a passport from a different country. And what that is do, it is break the players. You don't demotivate the player for continuing football. It could be a stressful situation, the player on the road. So we try to avoid that from the young. We start in our program, all have to be Dutch nationals.
Yeah.
Our potential passport holders in the future. That we train with them, but our teams mostly is Dutch nationals.
So that means that a lot of the potentially good players are kind of excluded from that. And I think that's something that the general population doesn't really understand. And
yes, I think that because some of them are saying yes, but St. Martin, again, only St. Martin, Dutch nationals can represent St. Martin. And born here, live for 20 years, you're not allowed to represent St. Martin at the age of 17 and up tournaments. Yeah, these are official tournaments. Other sports, they are allowed. Football, they're not. So that I think the changes can be, it's government, it's a lot of politics will be involved with that to make a St. Martin passport.
So now, you mentioned, let's go back because I know you guys were fighting for FIFA membership.
Yes.
How is that coming?
Well, we are right now in the dark regarding that, FIFA membership. The next FIFA Congress is in May. And we hope during that, St. Martin will be on the agenda. Now, come again, St. Martin, the agenda for FIFA, it will depend on the Congress to vote in St. Martin, if you get on the agenda. And that's one. And two, it will be a bit more funding for St. Martin. Hopefully we can build our own stadium also, one more football field. We have a potential location where we have for that, because we need more football field. Raul alone is not sufficient for the football right on the island. We have over close to 1,000 kids playing football, and preparing for these kids is very difficult.
So that becomes a challenge. All right, we're almost at the halfway point. Shout out, of course, to Julian Richards up there in the USA, always in tune to the program. Clavis Henderson, how you doing? In tune to the program. We're going to go to a commercial break, a short break, and once our producer get back, let me just remind the general public, the Tigers Vets, 50-plus Vets team, they will be having a fundraising fish fry on March the 8th, 2025. That's going to be at the Cahill Community Center. You could contact Mr. Tony Gibbs for tickets. His number, of course, is 527-2140. They are preparing for the ABCS softball tournament, 50-plus veteran softball tournament. That's going to be held on St. Martin at the Little League Sports field from May 28th to June 1st. You're going to have Aruba here, Curacao, Bonaire, Statia, and of course participating that would be the Tigers, Vets, and the Jazz Spaniards going to be in the house. So that's going March the 8th. Make sure and try and support the Tigers vets with their efforts. We know that softball action is continuing. We got to our national team, or the team, they were here with us last week. They're down there in the BVI right now. They're in the BVI right now, participating in the tournament. If I'm not mistaken, last night they played against Tortola. And the game before that was against the Dominican Republic. Great showing from St. Martin. Unfortunately, they lost both games. So hopefully in the next game, they will be able to, get that W for St. Martin. So the whole team is down there. Then we got upcoming table tennis. For a long time, I haven't heard anything from table tennis, but they're going to be having a tournament starting back on March the 22nd, so look forward to that. Hopefully we could get someone from the St. Martin Table Tennis Federation in here to discuss the upcoming tournament. And I'm not seeing my producer, but so we'll keep it rolling for now. Cricket action continues today. Cricket action is on today at the Caribbean. Today and tomorrow at the Caribbean Lumber Ballpark. You got the under 19 trials on Saturday. Today, that kicks off at 12 p.m. So the under 19 trials. And then later on, you got Kaitor going up against Lucian Rangers. That's going on at 1 p.m. So cricket action, make sure and check it out. Check it out and support your local cricket. What's going on today at the Raul Lillage, Mr. Singh?
Tonight we have, currently now we have the youth program going on right now, the youth football on the 9 and on the 11, on the 13 also. This afternoon we have a next on the 13 game, and then we have the senior game. Tomorrow we have after school program that we started a year ago. We have it was sponsored, financed by CONCACAF. So two representatives of CONCACAF are here, Mr. Cubias and Mr. Santinel. They're here. Currently they're in Anguilla. The program is called the CONCACAF Bigger Game. Tomorrow we will host a festival at Raul Village from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. It's with I think we start with the public schools, with our coaches here, with also the sport teacher, gym teacher for the school. They did some training, and they all will be there tomorrow at Raul Village from 2 to 5.
So you said that's the bigger
Bigger game.
Bigger game.
CONCACAF Bigger Game.
So what does that entail exactly? The CONCACAF Bigger Game.
It's a development football program for the primary schools. They usually use it as for less fortunate kids. The CONCACAF came in and financed, and they sponsor with everything, with some shirts, balls, etc., and try to bring more people into football, which is great for us. But unfortunately, as I just mentioned, we need more football fields, training ground. Yes, we have a lot of kids, but Raul Village and Emilio's will not suffice if you continue on to develop football on the island.
All right, let's go to a break, and we'll be right back with you after this break. Stick and stay. Sports Forum will be right back after this short commercial break. All right, we're back. We're back here in Sports Forum. Let me just give you an update on, of course, we got tomorrow, you got the interscholastic netball competition that's going on at the LB Scott Sports Auditorium. And the games kick off there at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. You're going to have, starting off at 3 p.m. You're going to have Sister Borja going up against St. Joseph. And then after that, you got Lionel Connor School going up against St. Dominic. And later on, you got St. Joseph again, doubleheader for them going up against Mac. And you know, Mac in that netball tournament, Mac is really the team to beat. Mac has two powerful teams from the Brawley Millard campus and the John A. Gums campus. They are strong. That's going to be at the John A. campus going up against Marie Genevieve de Viva School at 5:15, and the final game will be Sister Martha versus Hillside Christian School. So that's the Interscholastic Netball Championship going on at the LB Scott Sports Auditorium. Make sure and get on down there and support netball. And of course, as Mr. Singh mentioned, there's also a packed program in football with a lot of games going on at the Raul Illich Sports Complex. Let's go over to softball action, because we got some softball action going on today and tomorrow. Controllers at 3 p.m. Controllers this is in the Male Veteran League. Controllers going up against the Tigers at 3 p.m. Then at 5 p.m. you got the Sparks going up against the Lady Corozals. The Lady Corozals, that's in the female competition, 5 p.m. And then at 7 p.m. Superstars going up against Illegales. So that's for today. And then tomorrow you got the female veteran ladies. So 2 p.m. Still got it going up against the Angel Jets. So if you want to see the female veterans in action, you got to make your way over to the John Cooper Hossa Lake Ballpark from 2 p.m. tomorrow. And then at 4 p.m. male veteran softball, the Lions going up 50 plus going up against the Tigers. That should be a real good game. And the final game on Sunday is going to be the Sluggers versus the Controllers. And next week, got some big games going up, man. The ladies was in the studios. They talk about that. Next week is the big game. Survivors versus the Spinners. Wow. So Survivors, of course, is the 2024 champs. And they're going up against the Spinners, who are the 2023 champs. So that's going to be a good game over there to check out at the John Cooper Hossa Lake Ballpark. So back into the studios here with our guests. Let me go back to the assistant coach here, Mr. Telemak. And now, having this experience of this tournament, what would you do different than, what would you want to do different for upcoming tournament? As opposed to, you mentioned already one thing, but are there any other things that you guys would want to focus on differently to kind of get the team to perform more optimally?
Well, for me, I would think we would need to start a lot earlier regarding training, so we could get those repetitions in, and then get these kids a little more aggressive.
How do you get them to relax more when they're under the lights with so much fans? As coaches, do you guys focus any attention, for example, on the sports psychology, the psychology behind the sports, between the ears? How do you get them to remain focused, even though when you have 2,000-3,000 people chanting against you, for example?
Well, from the beginning, we did mention that the environment will be a lot more different than how it is locally. So as coaches, what we can do is just continue to counsel and listen to the kids and just try to make sure that they're well mentally prepared for what they're about to face. And we just keep on going at that as much as possible. But these tournaments, No matter who you are, as soon as you enter the pitch, you're gonna feel some nerves. No matter who you are, especially for the first timers. Even myself as a coach, the first time I experienced it, like, oh, this is not Raul Village, man. It's a whole nother level.
And we of course we got it. We don't have the luxury to have home games, so
Yeah.
having the home team behind you is a big plus in these tournaments.
For sure.
So Sudesh, as a goalkeeper, you told me you missed the first 3 games, but how the first 2? But how do you hearing all the fans, for example, in the stadium chanting for their team, and you're there? How do you get that out your mind as a player?
Zone them out. You just have to be mentally strong. But for me now, once I take a goal, I just start to lose everything, and I realize a big plus point for me by this tournament was.
So when you say take a goal, you mean once they score on you?
Once they score on me.
Yeah, you kind of lose your focus and go into a little dip.
But I was very mentally strong for this tournament because I took 1 goal in the first half and I didn't put my head down, and I just continued to fight for the team. Team continued to fight for me, and we came out by halftime very strong. But then when we took another goal, the team, they went down. But I was trying to build them back up because.
So, you of course have a good view on the game, being the goalkeeper. For the defensively, what was really the main struggle that the team was having? Was it speed? Was it positioning? What was the other teams beating you guys on mostly to score these goals? Was it technique? What was, in your opinion, what was it?
On the technical skill, because I played against Guyana and they were moving the ball left to right very fast, and it was a little hard for us to keep up. But we hold them off. But then again, most English countries, they usually go with long ball and they chase it.
Okay.
And Guyana was very physical and very fast for our players. So after 4 times, we get tired. We got tired, and they would just keep on hitting us with that. So
a lot of long balls and physically stronger. So that means they were much bigger than you guys, because your father said that you're 14 and those guys. And so physically it was a big. Let me ask Caden, as a defender, playing against much bigger players, physically, and how was that? Tell us your experience as a defender, because what Sudesh is describing here, I think you experienced it.
It was really rough playing against people who's bigger than us. I'm only 15 as well. These guys just jump over you, tall over you, like you could barely reach the ball. Header, they probably didn't reach it before you. But I feel like as defenders, like the defending line, we wasn't very physical. Like we didn't go in as hard. For me, I'm not the physical type. I wouldn't say that. I'm more speedy.
As a Virgil van Dijk, you gotta he physical. He got some hard slide-ins and really use his body.
I'm more of a speedster type, but these guys, even so, I feel like they also had the acceleration. As soon as they have the ball, if they choose where they want to go, and they're probably going to beat you on the speed because they're fast enough, so they're going to catch you.
So what's the greatest motivation that you would take away from this tournament? I mean, having that experience now and coming back in a local competition, how are you adjusting yourself so that next time you go back you will be more prepared?
I feel like I should just know by now. I got used to the acceleration point. It's just the defending.
So that means as a defender you start working on your speed as well?
Yeah, you just have to be a bit smarter, push them to the line, for example.
You going in the gym to bulk up a little bit for
I start again. I need to be like Virgil van Dijk soon. I start again. But in the local league, of course, it's not the same as playing against Costa Rica, Trinidad, and whatnot. But it's still good practice, good training, development, and like the president said, the first time for a few of us. So the next time it probably won't happen again.
All right. Mr. Singh, I think we spoke a little bit about the plans for 2025 for the Federation. What are some, remind us again, what are some of your goals for 2025 that you want to accomplish? And I think you have a couple of other engagements for the year that
Yes, well, first of all, we all know FIFA membership, that's a big thing. To be part of that elite organization or world organization will assist the island tremendously. Yes, now when any FIFA tournaments in Martinique will be mentioned. And opportunity there is that we get the funding to assist with Raul one more field that we can host our home games. That will build the confidence of the players and also.
Raul is also scheduled for renovation.
Yes, I want to thank Yes on this because he's waiting for football to complete, or competition to finish, to start back the project for renovating of Raul. The lights will be updated to 1,000 lux. I think the stand, changing room, everything will be up to par, and I'm confident. I can confidently say next year Nation League we will have home games, which is a big accomplishment. Which will be a big accomplishment for St. Martin. I know the stand will be too small, I can say from now. Because a couple of years ago we hosted the U20 here, and in 10 minutes the stand was full. I had to close the gate, which was not, some of the fans that came out, it wasn't that pleasant for them. After deliberation and begging, pleading with CONCACAF, we managed to open the gate. They stand around the field a bit. We had no field invasion, which was good. The experience for the players there was tremendously. Some of them grew up from there, and yes, that's one of the biggest one to host home game. The next one is later this month. Pete is coming back because I think the last 2 years we didn't focus much on the coaching aspect, continue developing our coaches, and I think we need that. We need to restart that. So Pete is here from the 5th of March to the 20th, starting with the first phase of the development again, coaches, that education. Our plan is to bring him like 2 to 3 times a year here now, every year, to continue help developing our coaches. Because it's, when you look at it, and I think back about it, 2 years ago we had a lot of just all the coaches got a certificate, but the stash era period where to go and continue to develop with the educator here, instructor here to guide them, didn't happen. So I think that's there's where we're lacking. So for most of the coaches now, we want to get that experience, but also go with
So the coaches that went through the program, because we had a number of coaches that started off, I think they started off with license C.
Yes.
So how many coaches you have now, the Federation have now with license C? How much with B and how much with A?
And up to B, we have 3 coaches with B. They're still in the training phase for the B. We had a B take a year. And the C, we have close to 71 coaches.
Wow.
Yes, but not all of them have teams, because also when some of them, what we realize, most of the coaches, they want to help. There's no facility, and you come on the field crowded with kids. Sometimes Raul divide into 3 teams, train on the same night. The coaches to prepare their plan to come and coach the kids, it's not there. They cannot do it. So that just demotivated coaches. Just come and guys just play football. So the real development of the kids is not there. And again, we have like 8 teams with youth programs where we pack over 100 kids. So the training facility is the biggest issue we're facing right now. So we hope after May we can have maybe 1 or 2 more fields on the island. And I think that will assist for the time period. Besides that, I said we restructure a bit, and then we have to continue with developing our membership. I think we as the Federation, we looked at our membership is our strongest point. They're the Congress, and we want to continue. As we grow, evolve, our membership should evolve also. Because besides taking part in the international tournament at the national level, there are also club tournaments out there that our team can engage in. And that will help them develop also in the regional level, that our teams will be like what they were passing in the years, where I know Anguilla, Friendside, St. Kitts, we don't count them as the club level there. We always go and win competition from them. Now it's totally the opposite, but we want to bring it back to those days.
Now, coming off of a tournament like this, I know that you guys have a lot of challenges sending the national teams to these tournaments. Coming back when you're less than successful, how do you keep the public, the teams, the coaches, and everyone still sensitized and not demotivated to continue to work on it? Is that I can imagine that as a big challenge for you.
Yes, I think before we go to the tournament, that's why usually we have meetings with the coaches and the parents. I thought that my expectation out there when you're going out to an international tournament that you never take part in is zero.
Okay.
I tell the parents, and these boys are going for experience. Don't look at the scores, look how they're playing, and keep motivating them. The coaches also, we mentioned that to them. I know from the fact when I see the pool we were in with BVI, Trinidad, Guyana, Costa Rica.
A real strong pool.
A real strong pool. I tell them, bear in mind, you will see BVI train with a team, but when you go there, it will be a totally different team. They're bringing in these big players. We have some FIFA qualifiers and you have 8 spots. Everybody want to go to the FIFA World Cup at that level. Besides that, I think, so that's one. So we keep talking to our coaches, we keep looking ways, as I said, we sit down and look at it, to evolve our coaches also. And most of the coaches know where we're coming from. I keep mentioning it. St. Martin football is at the baby step. We are the baby right now. We didn't mature as yet. You cannot go out there and even try to compete. If you look at on paper against Anguilla, Anguilla football is older than us, about 10 to 15 years. I mean, organized wise. If you look at Guyana football, I think they just made 70 years. So you look the year of process and evolve of football there, it's been years. Costa Rica is about 100 years old. Trinidad about the same. And they produce top players. Even Costa Rica went to the World Cup already. You have to look at that. Trinidad is there. The population size is play a key role also. Where we, Trinidad about, I think, 2.5 million. Costa Rica is a couple of million. Guyana is in 100,000. And we still below that. And again, besides we below that, we look Dutch friend side, one island. We have a lot of players also, but again, the nationality play a key role also. That's why I also mentioned the passport is a key. We have to get, I think, the mindset of the government to make a St. Martin passport next to the Dutch passport. That's my thing that can help us out in all sports.
Okay.
I think it's a lot of the protocol they have to go through to put the right minds together to to make a St. Martin passport, that the kids who born on the island can have the opportunity to represent St. Martin. Because when the kids go out there, they're ambassador of the island. And we have to bear in mind, like they say, they go to experiences there. There's 90 minutes of football or any sports. During that 90 minutes, they not mention the name of the players that much as the country St. Martin. So the way the players carry themselves on the field, reflect on St. Martin also. If you stand there, like the coaches also, the discipline of the coaches, the players, and that motivates them. I think one of the biggest goals they have also as players when they come back to the island, they can sit down, forget the score, they enjoy seeing themselves on TV. And so, wow, that will motivate them to go to the next level. Like how you said, Van Dijk, you see Van Dijk on TV. Likewise, Van Dijk can go online and see him on TV also, on the screen. So those are the things that's happening with St. Martin. Again, St. Martin is a young country, and I think together, everybody has to make develop St. Martin, evolve it.
Now let me go over to the coach. 1 minute back to the coach. Now, and I think a key element in football is, and I'm not really a good football player, but anyway, possession. How do you get your team to maintain more? How do you train your teams to maintain to manage the ball better, to have more possession, because that creates more opportunity for goal scoring? How do you focus on that?
Well, during training, the exercises that you plan should be possessional based. So, for example, I could say a rondo, a 4v2, try to keep the ball while 2 defenders try to get the ball. And it's a culture, it's a mindset that you just try to get them thinking, and the decision making, you try to put them in situations where they have to think, what do I do with the ball? Should I give it away? Should I hold it? So it's all about the planning and your training exercises.
Is it difficult to prepare players from national competition playing to international tournament like this, to get them prepared properly for the tournament, the tournaments? I mean, based on your experience and based on, I know that the time was short, but is that a big challenge that you see? Or
in somewhat, I would say yes, because these kids coming from the individual teams, and now you have to try to mold them in your system on a national level. So, for example, Suresh might have a a system on his team where he just have to kick a long ball out, and maybe he might come to my team and I would tell him no, you have to pass the ball to your defenders and we build up. So it's just a matter of,
as a national coach, you have enough time to like focus on skills, or
no,
it's more you just
it's
trying
more
to
tactical, yeah, more tactical, more how we play together as a team, not what you can do with the ball. It's more, how we move as a unit, in a sense.
All right, and you're still playing yourself, or?
Well, unfortunately, my knee actually gave up on me now, so pending surgery. So I actually giving back to the community now. I think I'm retire now.
Retire? Wow.
Strong word, but yeah.
Yeah. Kaden, we're coming down to the end of the program. What would your message be to youngsters, younger football players now that looking up to you as a national team player? What would your message be to them to try to motivate them and stimulate them to elevate themselves and perform on a higher level?
I would say that they should know that the level of football on St. Martin, or almost any sport on St. Martin, is always going to be a bit lower than the rest since we started, as the president said. We started, Angola got 10 more years of football over us, the rest of them got way more. I feel like you should always never...
So how would you motivate them to still try to reach for that level that we are?
Keep going. As in football, there's scouts, for example, basketball, all of that. There's scouts. As long as you do your individual job, you can still get chosen. So it's always just keep your head up and keep going.
You playing this weekend and then?
Yeah, I'm playing tonight and tomorrow.
Tonight, who you guys playing against?
Tonight is the seniors. We're playing against 758 boys.
So invite the public to come out and watch you. What time you playing against 758 boys?
8:30 tonight at Raul Illich Field. Seniors playing blue.
Anyone you want to thank for helping you to get to this level?
Right now, and to be able to compete with the national team, my mother have to be mentioned.
Okay. And your mother name?
She's the president of Valichi, Kimberly Freeswijk.
Okay. So guys, let's go over to you. What would your message be to youngsters who maybe not don't like defending and don't like to be a goalkeeper?
Well, you just have to keep going and keep pushing. No matter if somebody tell you to stop, you're not good. Just keep going, because you don't have to be you don't have to beat 10 players to be the best player on the team. You could be a hustle player, a defensive player, and just keep pushing, because you never know who's looking at you. When they record the games, our games are from under 15 straight up to seniors. They record the games. So you go, you look. I do a good pass. I do more than 10 good passes. I clip them, show them around, send them to probably some schools if you're in a graduating class, and try to create opportunities for yourself, because you can't expect everything to get handed to you. You have to try to go out of your way to do some things to achieve those things you want to achieve.
Okay, you playing this weekend?
No, I'm not playing this weekend. I'm playing next week against 758 boys, under 15.
Under 15. That's a strong team. You looking forward to that game?
I might play on the field that game.
All right, let's go. Mr. Singh, as the president, you got a final word.
Yes, first of all, I want to say thank you again for having us here. It has been a few years that we've been here, but every time when I have some message, I bring it out there for the population of St. Martin. I said, don't give up on St. Martin. If you give up, you lose the race. Still hope for St. Martin. We all have to do our part. As Dylan said, what we're doing here is community service. Even the boys that represent St. Martin said they're ambassador for St. Martin. So we mustn't give up on that. Don't look at the scores. Look at what they're representing, St. Martin as a country. For football fans out there, as usual, I would say come out at Raul Illich, support football. Not only football, there's a lot of sports going on the island. Once you support sports, I think it's beneficial for all. Support the bar. Most of them say no, don't support the bar, support the kids. What I'm very pleased with right now is every Saturday morning you hear the parents them are coming out. When you go Raul Illich, the parents are coming out for these kids. It's good. It motivates a child to see his parents in the stand. The child don't look at the score. If it's female score, you look up at the stand and hear his father's mother say, great job, that's all he needed. And this year we're going to take part in some international tournaments, and I want to tell all the players on national level, education come first. Because we had a meeting with MPC also, and they said it clearly that grades have to be up there to be part of our national program. We instill it in our project, in our program also, education first and then sports. They go hands in hand, and I tell the players, do not tell me within 24 hours you can't find 3 hours to study every day, and use study as a reason not to play football, football as a reason not to study. You have to combine, and when you leave the island to go there, your parents will not be there. You have to cook, clean, study, and if you love football, play football.
Do everything.
So for now, prepare yourself. For the rest, I'm gonna say, it's almost all the time. It's been an hour. I still say a very short hour for us here. There's a lot we can talk about, but thank you all, and again, great job here in the studio for everyone, and yes, have a wonderful weekend.
All right,
Stay
guys,
safe.
we want to thank you for being with us. Of course, it's always a pleasure having you and the youngsters in the studios. Just a final note, the Carib Swim team, they're going to have the Caribbean Gems, and the Carib Swim team will be hosting their interscholastic meet tomorrow at the Carib Swim Pool in Cold Bay. The primary schools kick off at 9 a.m. and the high schools at 3 p.m. So make sure and go out and check that out. You got MPC participating, St. Dominic Sundial, St. Martin Vocational, LU Mac, Sister Regina School, St. Martin Academy, CBA, and CIA. So make sure and check that out. Swimming tomorrow, interscholastic swim meet down there at the Carib Swim Pool in Cold Bay. All right, so that's what we had for you this morning. I want to thank you for being with us, and in closing, I always tell you, be happy with what you have while working for what you want. Some things have to end for better things to begin. Until next week, take care, bye-bye, enjoy your weekend. Up next is, of course, the Master D Super Good Morning Show. Later on is Tobias, Tonky, and Claret for Caribbean Classics. I'm out.